What's up everyone? I thought I'll put this video together really quickly for you guys. I'm not going to do any cuts, no edits. I just thought I would sit here and just talk about how I got to where I am today with my physique, with my life, with my social media, with my football, with everything, right? How I got to this point with my physique and where I am today. So I'll just start from the beginning. I got into football so I joined Crystal Palace when I was 6 years old. So at the age of 6, I joined Crystal Palace, and that was probably, that definitely changed my life. I was at Crystal Palace in Chelsea, playing football there, very young, like 6 years old, super young. I didn't even think I knew what football really was back then. I just thought you just kick a ball, try and score on the goal. But yeah, I ended up staying at Crystal Palace, and as a young kid, I was a nightmare. I was so anxious all the time. I wouldn't want to leave my parents, sort of thing. I was just one of them kids, you know what I mean, would try and lock themselves in the toilet because they didn't want to go to school, or try and hide in the car, or you know what I mean. I was always like that. And then, yeah, that was from a young age, but football really did help me grow up and put me out my comfort zone from a very young age, which was probably, when I think back, it's probably the best thing that I could have ever done for myself, right? I would not be in the position I am today if it wasn't for my football. Simple as that. Because now, obviously, I'm much more confident. I'm talking to you guys on here, pretty much telling the whole world about my growing up, how I grew up and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, from 6 years old, ended up staying at Crystal Palace, went on trials everywhere. I was always the smallest kid, right? I was always the smallest kid, but I always had that bit of fight in me from a young age. I had that fight in me. That's how I ended up staying there for 10 years, right? I was always the smallest guy, but I always had the fight. I would always go for the biggest guy in the team. I don't know, it was just something, right? I'd see he had the ball, would go up to him, take the ball off him, you know what I mean? Just like that, and I'll be the smallest there. So yeah, it stood out, which was good. Ended up getting my contract, 8 years old, at Crystal Palace. Yeah, and my life honestly changed from there, and I've made so many good friends. I've met so many amazing people as well through football and through my journey. Right, so I was obviously 8, 9. I suffered from a lot of like severs. So I had severs on my left heel for, I'm not sure how long, it was like 7 months. It was probably the worst pain of my life. I think it was like when I was 10 or 11. And then I come back for like 3 months and I got it on my right. I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but I know I went to an orthotics place, got some orthotics made for my feet, to just help stabilize my feet, because I don't have flat feet, but the arches of my feet would roll in, which caused a bit of stress on my Achilles and heel and stuff like that, which then caused the severs, which is totally normal. Anyway, got that fixed after about 1.5 years, I'd say. That was so painful. I played for a Saturday league as well called Shelton. I don't even know if they're around still, but yeah, I played for them. And I remember just one tournament, I was just scoring, trying to run. I just couldn't run. At 11 years old, I couldn't run. It was so bad. Anyway, it was good. We went on tour. I went to Spain, Madrid, like so many places, right? Netherlands, and yeah, it was honestly, Crystal Palace, they provided me with so much. So I grew up from it such a young age. It was honestly an amazing life experience, and I would not be where I am today if I didn't have any of them experiences. So I'm grateful for every single bit of that, right? Even though it was hard, even though I did cry a lot, even though I suffered a lot, even though I went through a lot of pain and all that stuff, it built me, you know what I mean? And I would not have the physique, I would not be in the shape I am today without any of them things in the past, right? So yeah, so that was that. Went through all of that with my fitness, and to be honest, like from such a young age, I learned so much about the body. And a lot of people, like I'm 19 right now, and I work with guys in their 50s. And these people in their 50s would not trust me if they didn't think I didn't have the knowledge or experience, right? I experienced a lot from a very young age, 10 years old. So I've been in the game, let's say 8, 9 years, right? I've been learning the whole way. I've worked with the best S&C coaches in the world, the best hip specialists, everything like that, right? And that's why I have guys who I'm working with now who are in their 50s, 30s, 40s, and they trust me and they're seeing results. So yeah, so obviously 8, 9, 10 years old, had all them injuries, nothing too crazy. Because I was always very weak and stuff, I'd get the nudge or something like that, I'd be off the ball. Right, it was something that I just got used to. I was more of the clever player, right? So I'd get the ball, and I always played up a year as well, right? That was something about me. Even though I was small, weak, sort of thing, I would always play up a year. Like probably, I was at Palace for like 10 years. Probably 9 of those years I was playing up a year, right? And it was good, honestly. Great experience. I've played with so many good players now who some are even playing in the Prem Championship now, and it's been an experience, right? But yeah, obviously played up quite a lot. Was always a good player. Was very, very much rated from all my coaches. But my issue was back then anyway, was I was quite passive. I was always break up the play, get the ball sort of thing. I was very do everything perfectly, right, to the T, which I am still today. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I would say, still today, but I've learned to kind of just take risks, right? You have to take risks. If you want to achieve your dream physique, if you want to get to the gym, and if you want to start that business or you want to make money, you have to take risks. And I've learned so much in the past few years even, right? Just through taking risks. And I'll get onto that. But yeah, so I've obviously learned so much, worked with so many great people on my fitness, my health, my conditioning. And honestly, you could say I haven't had the education, but I have. I did all my A-levels, all my knowledge, everything I learned. But I also was in it as well. I also witnessed it. I was the guy they were testing, which was probably just as good as, sorry, the screens have just gone orange, which is why the colour just changed. But, which is, I was saying, it was probably, that's the reason why I am where I am today with my knowledge and everything like that, because I know how the body works because I've done the research, but I also know how it feels, right? I know how it feels to have severs. I know how it feels to have back pain. I know how it feels to get a dead leg. You know, all of that stuff that you've just got to get used to, especially if you're playing sport or you're just getting into the gym for the first time, like sore muscles and yeah, all of that. So yeah, so I mean, that was, what age was that? It was like, yeah, 13, 14, 15. Went on tours, went on so many tours. I was a nightmare on the tours though. One time I can remember I fainted. I learnt my lesson that day. I'll tell you that because I didn't drink enough water. I was young, right? I was young, but I fainted. Learned from that, and then yeah, just kept pushing. I was still smashing it, even though all that happened. But I was a nightmare, right? Going on tour, it was all because I was such an anxious kid. I was always parents, you know what I mean, or home or something like that. I was a home guy, which I still am today, but I'm more confident. I don't mind pushing myself, taking risks and stuff like that. But yeah, look, it built me. That really did build me into the person I am today. And then yeah, 15 was when they started filming the Crystal Palace documentary. So they basically followed us around that was 16. That was when I was 16. So 15, I played up a year. This was after lockdown. So obviously lockdown came. And during lockdown as well, I was so focused on improvement. I was obsessed when I mean I was generally obsessed, I would try and find a photo of me, but it was bad. It was an obsession where I was losing so much weight. It didn't look right. Like, I generally looked anorexic in a way. My parents were getting worried. Everyone was getting worried. They were like, Jack, you're not eating enough. But even though I was eating a lot, I was not eating enough, right? There's always a balance. You need to find that balance. And everyone's different, right? Because I was training 6-7 hours, 5 days a week. I'll wake up at 5:30, right? Because we had online school back then. It's crazy. It's going so quick. But we had online school back then. And yeah, so I'd wake up at 5:30, school would start at 7. So I wake up at 5:30, get on the bike for half an hour, do my intervals on there, then come out, do like a 10-minute core workout, shower, breakfast, boom, straight into lessons, get my lessons done within 4 hours sort of thing, and then I'd be training the rest of the day. That would literally be every day. I don't know how long I did that for, however long lockdown was. And look, I learned so much about my health, my fitness, everything like that, right? I was young still, but I was grafting. I was researching all day. I was, in my spare time, I would write down. I remember I had like a whole book. I'd just write down my workouts for today. I was so obsessed. Like, I'd have like my list and I'd be boom, 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 boom. So what I'm doing, this is a core workout. This is my lower body workout I'm gonna do at home. This is my calisthenics workout. Like, this is my core, like everything, right? I was so focused and driven to eating everything so perfectly that I kind of lost track. And I was so, because I was so obsessed, everything just didn't, I was getting ripped, I was in good shape, but I was losing so much weight and I was weak, right? You could say I was weak. So I would literally run down to the park, run up and down, do my intervals there, come run back up to the park, run back home in my room, have some free dumbbells like I got from Decathlon. They didn't go up, they're not that heavy. It's probably like 8 kg each sort of thing. And I used to just, that's all I did. Come back and I'd probably go outside running around for like 4 hours, come back and hit an out session for like 1.5 to 2 hours. I literally did that every single day. And I don't recommend it. And I've said it on the podcast before, but I don't recommend it. But it was good. Like, don't get me wrong, I learned so much about my health, my fitness and everything like that. Obviously the diet side was a bit different because I lost too much weight, but I've learnt now and I'm not that weight anymore. I was like this height and I was 50 kg, right? It was quite disturbing when I look back at the photos, but that we've learnt. And I am now 71 kg, so I've put on 21 kg since then, and I look better for it, right? I look so much better for it. And then, yeah, obviously lockdown, Crystal Palace, 16 is when I got released. So that year was a super eye-opener for myself, right? I'd been at Crystal Palace for pretty much 10 years, a decade, 10 years of my life, right? That's more than half of my life, right? That's like 2/3 of my life. So obviously I was there, and like before that I was always into the gym. I'd always work the hardest in the gym, do all my sets, get out to training, run. We'd be doing intervals, we'd doing long duration stuff. It was brilliant. Like, I got so fit, I was super fit. And then, yeah, obviously from there, yeah, I didn't get my contract at Crystal Palace, which was, yeah, it was hard. Don't get me wrong, some guys dealt with it worse than myself. But it was hard. I ended up going on trial at quite a few other clubs, didn't make it, or they asked me back, blah, blah, blah. Then I done my hip. So it was nothing crazy, I thought at first, but it just, because I kept playing on it. And this is what I say with a lot of my clients now, and anyone going through the same thing. It was, I had an injury, right? Because I had trials, I kept pushing myself. I was painkiller, and it just didn't work. Right, I was in so much pain. It got to a point where I couldn't even move, I couldn't even stride because my hip just didn't let me. It was just so much pain. Anyway, yeah, obviously that meant I was out for, I don't know, 4 months. Missed whole of pre-season, didn't get into any clubs, ended up joining Kinetic, right? And I mean, look, 16s was when I got released from Palace. That's when I kind of started my social media. So in my head, it was like one of my friends were doing it, a few guys were doing it at Palace. I was thinking, I mean, why not I do it, right? Palace are building their whole new stadium. I can get some good views from this, you know what I mean? And start posting my gym stuff. So I put all these, if you go scroll all the way to the bottom of my like TikTok, you can see some funny edits. There are some weird ones out there, just, I don't know. Anyway, you know what it's like. And then they're rubbish edits, by the way. Nothing crazy. So if you're gonna go and look down there, then there's no point, because they are pretty bad. But anyway, you got to start somewhere. Yeah, I always say it. It's better to start than not start at all. If you're stagnant for too long, that's worse than trying. Right, you're taking more risks by staying in the same place than you are than trying something new, in my opinion. And it's so true, right? It is so true. But yeah, obviously Palace got released from there, and then from that sort of period, a lot clicked. I'd say a lot clicked. Started posting more on TikTok. I started getting views, hit 1 million. Boom. Everything started. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, Palace have let me go. I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to get into social media, kind of boost my way back up from there, if that makes sense. Right, I was still playing football, still loving it. And yeah, I was killing it. I was killing it on social media, I would say. Hit first 100K. I don't know, it took me, I'll be serious, it probably took me like a year of posting before I hit 100K on TikTok. Everyone's different, but for me, it was just hard graft. I was posting every day. I remember I used to put posts up, delete them because they weren't doing well, stuff like that. It was all like, I would care too much about other people think, and that was one thing that I had to get past, was caring what other people think. Like, a lot of people go to the gym or start posting for the first time and they care too much about what other people were going to say about them, what their friend group were going to say, what their teammates are going to say, right? And look, obviously you got to be careful what you post. There's a lot of stuff you don't want to post because it'll ruin your image or something like that. But look, if you want to start posting, just start posting. If you want to get into the gym and build your physique, no one actually cares, right? If you're in the gym, if you're trying to work hard, no one really cares. You're doing your thing, they're doing their thing, right? The worst that they'll look over at you. That's the worst that can happen. Nothing else, right? Worst, and even then, if someone looks over and comes over to you, 99% of the time, they're gonna be helping you, right? I'll tell you that now. No one in the gym, people are all in the gym to get healthy, get fit, right? There's no one there specifically just to target someone. And if there are, then that's sad and I've never heard a story about it. But you know what I mean? But anyway, 16, 17, started posting, joined Kinetic. It was great. Had a year out. And yeah, it was great. Honestly, I was loving football again. I was just playing with my mates, pretty much training each day, and stuff like that. It was top. It was really good. And honestly, fitness, I was taking my fitness so seriously as well. From getting released from Crystal Palace, I was on that fitness grind. I'm telling you, when I did my hip, I come back from my hip injury a totally different person. When I mean I was completely different, physically, mentally, emotionally, I felt unstoppable. I literally felt unstoppable. I remember coming back and doing some runs, right? It was like box to boxes with like a pre-season team that I was with. And my legs were just moving by themselves. I felt like my arms were moving in slow motion. My legs were just going like that. I was like, wow, damn, it's paid off. Like, the hard work's paying off. You know what I mean? I was like, this is where I was really like, okay, gym. You know what I mean? I love the gym now. I was like, damn, yeah. Anyway, yeah, really took gym seriously. Figured out a lot of stuff, learnt a lot of stuff. And yeah, just enjoyed football as well. that year, went on good tours with the team, made some good friends, even I speak to today. And yeah, that year was great. And then my second year was where the pre-season clicked, right? All that hard work in the gym, all my posting edits, right? I was still posting throughout the year. I didn't really care what people thought. I was still doing all my posts. And then pre-season, or beginning of the season, my second year, like I was smashing it in FA Youth Cup, hat tricks a game, scoring every game, was killing it, right? Was generally killing it. And then ended up going on trial to Newcastle first. That was ridiculous. When I heard I got a trial at Newcastle, I generally lost my mind. I was like, what? I was like, I know I deserve it. It was like, Newcastle? That sounds nice. You know what I mean? It just sounds nice. They've just been bought by the Saudis. They got all this money. They're building a new team. Like I was like, yeah, I'm Jack Lowe signed for Newcastle. Yeah, that's got a good ring to it. Anyway, that was brilliant. Honestly, I love that trial. Everyone in Newcastle was so nice. One thing I realised, everyone's so nice there. Anyway, it was brilliant. Played football there. Got invited back. However, when I got back, I got another call, right, from Tottenham. So ended up going on trial at Tottenham. A few of the boys knew me there, which was quite funny, from TikTok. I was surprised I didn't get recognised at Newcastle, but got recognised at Tottenham for like the rebounder guy, because that's what I did, football rebounder sort of thing. And then yeah, it was great. Met some great guys. Also now playing in the Prem, killing it in football. They're all smashing it. Great guys as well. And then yeah, from there it was just full steam ahead. Really, just pushed myself. Was learning a lot about myself, mentally, physically, mostly mentally, really. Right, mentally it was quite draining, but it was good. Like it really pushed me to my limits, right, and beyond. And then yeah, so went there, smashed it. Even I remember getting in the ice bath one time and just humming Songs are sitting next to me. I'm like, yeah, that's not normal, but you know what I mean. It must be normal for them guys. But yeah, anyway, it was cool. That was really cool. I loved it. Loved every moment of it. I don't take any of it back. And then obviously came back, had loads more trials. Heard Brentford wanted me, Everton wanted me, a few other teams wanted me. I felt like the guy. You know what I mean? Everything was just like boom, boom, boom. I thought I was getting signed for Premier League club. Jack Lowe signed for, I don't know, you know what I mean? And obviously we played a game against Ipswich, and I've just jumped in the air, got my legs taken out, mid-air, boom. Landed on my side and I broke my hand. So I thought I broke my ribs at first. I couldn't breathe for about 20 seconds. I've got up and I couldn't move my hand. This hand, yeah, couldn't move it. All gone, pretty much. Tried playing on, but I was like, I can't. I generally can't. Strapped it up, and yeah, it was literally looked like a plum. Generally looked like a plum. Went to the, what's it called? Hospital the next day. What's it? A&E. Went to A&E, and they scanned it and they looked at me. And it was probably one of the most, I don't know, it was hard to take in, because obviously I was on such a good year. I was like the last 2 years since getting released from Palace, like starting to pay off. Like it was all that hard work, right? All the late nights, all the extra training sessions, all the times getting there earlier, all them gym sessions, everything I did to get to that point. And boom, just like that. It was not done, but it was like all that hard work, right, for this period of time just gone in a way, right? I didn't have, well, the clubs wanted me in, but I broke my hand. People wanted to sign me here, sign me there, but I couldn't. I was out for 4 months, came back towards the end of the season. Smashed it again, scored a ridiculous goal. It's on my Instagram if you guys want to watch it, but ridiculous goal. Ended up going up to Everton, right? So got a last minute call up to Everton. And it went really well. I think. And done my back. So just pulled something or lower back, yeah. And then I was out for another 4 months. And yeah, obviously throughout that 4-month period where I broke my hand, I didn't make any excuses. I knew, because I was told the saying, you can only control what you can control. Don't try and control stuff you can't. Right, so all I was doing was obviously revising at the time. I was doing A-levels, studying PE, everything like that, biology. Yeah, I did all of that. Just in case you guys didn't think I did my education, I did. And did well in them anyway. And all I did was that, to touch my garden and gym. But I literally couldn't do anything like with my hands. If I was doing upper body, I was doing core, or I was doing it with my elbows. Like I was doing that. Like, you know what I mean? It was, yeah, I was just doing what I could do. But because obviously, what else? And I love the gym. It was a passion of mine, and I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to stop. So I kept going. Obviously, come back, smashed it again. Went to Everton, done my back, and that was me out for another 3-4 months. Went into non-league, but at this point in time, I was still posting, so I didn't let any of this stop me from posting, because I always, in the back of my mind, I was always like, right, broke my hand, just like that. Your career can literally change like that, right? Your life can change in a flash of an eye sometimes, and yeah, I learned so much from that. Really, it was good. It was a good learning curve, very good learning curve, and obviously, yeah, from there it was full steams ahead. Started posting more gym stuff, and was doing that at the time anyway. Post more gym stuff, and then yeah, ended up starting the coaching side, because obviously it was like football, playing non-league. It's hard to make money, right? It's hard to get out non-league. Once you're in non-league, it's hard to get out. It's possible, very possible, but it's hard. So we kept going on my social media, went to loads of events. Honestly, it's brought me so many opportunities. I've met so many great people, right, through my social media. Rising Ballers, for one, they have been amazing. Been invited to loads of stuff with them. And just in general, right, collabs, people I've met. I've made great friends through my social media as well, and stuff like that, right? Everything happens for a reason, right? God put stuff there to challenge you. You've never put anything there if he didn't think you couldn't do it, right? So everything's there for a reason. Everything that's put in your way, you can definitely deal with, right? So yeah, obviously I was doing all of that and started the fitness stuff, and yeah, because obviously I was like, the money's all right, making a few £100 here and there, but it was nothing to live off, right? I could never live off it. And seeing my parents, my family and everything, and just trying to help other people as well, right? Because obviously, at the end of the day, I don't want people to go through what I've been through. And if they are, then they know they've got someone to help them. They know they've got someone to trust and help them get out of the situation they are in. Like if that's losing weight, if that's being unconfident, if that's struggling to eat, if that's whatever, right? I've been through it. I've had the injuries. I've had everything, right? I would say from a very young age. So I know a lot already at 19. And a lot of you guys, older guys or whoever, you see me and you're like, yeah, he's young, doesn't know much, he can't help me. But give me a few months, I reckon I can. I can change who you are, your mentality and everything, right? Very, very thoroughly. I've got everything set up. So, yeah, and look, I started from that. And yeah, just smashing it. Everyone in my one-to-one coaching, smashing it. The TTT fitness crew. And yeah, it's going great. And look, my goals for the future, purely just to keep helping people, right? Always helping and helping my family as well, because my family are number one, right? As it should be. And yeah, I mean, look, that was a little bit about me, and yeah, gonna keep you guys updated. But that was a 30-minute video. Damn, that was a long old time. Went quick, but yeah. If you guys enjoyed that and you actually stayed for the whole thing, then that's I appreciate it. Give me a message if you did on my Instagram, and yeah, let's change your life, man. If you guys are interested in the one-to-one coaching, then you can, there's a form that I'll put in the description. You can just book and fill out the form, and we'll try, and if you qualify, my team will sort it out, and if you qualify, we'll jump on a quick call, see how I can help, and from there hopefully change your life and change your physique together. So see you there.